So in the last few sessions, we have implemented the error handling in our Express application with the help of custom error handler middleware. Okay, in that process, we understand what is middleware and how to use this error handler middleware and what are the advantages. So the last session we have implemented custom handler in our application. So this is the custom handler, and we have taken the one JavaScript file to save all the error codes. Okay, so we are using those error codes while we are building this error handler. So this is the error handler, and based on the status code, we are sending some different response to JS. Yeah, okay, this is what we have covered. And here in the last, actually, the default in the last session, while I'm explaining, I have written like this console.log all is well. Okay, if you've done a practice, hopefully you know these things like all is well, but it's not all is well all the time because there could be another type of error. So now in this session, what we are going to do, we are going to test this error handler and implement some validations for our MongoDB schema. So this is the user schema, and we are storing our data in a MongoDB, like user details, username, age, and email ID. Okay, so far, because we are at the basic level, that's why I've taken only three fields to understand it clearly. So we can save these details. On already we have implemented all the CRUD operations to this DB collection. So today we need to implement a validation because here we didn't add any kind of validation. So whether you will provide email ID or not, there is no restriction for age. So anything we can store the data. But normally in production applications, we should implement some validations based on the situation and requirement. So let's implement those things. And after that, whenever we got an error, if you want, you can just forward that error to our custom error handler middleware. Otherwise, the default Express handler will take care of it. So first let's implement and let's test it. So here username is there, age is there, email ID. Okay, for email ID, we can implement like it should be a required field validator, and if the user don't provide the details, we should provide some simple message, error message. So please go and read the documentation, because here in this session I'm going to use basic validations only. But if you, that is not enough to become expert to get a job in IT industry, so just spend some time reading this documentation and implement. Of course, as the project grows, we are going to implement all of these great techniques. So today we are going to implement very the basic thing, that is like a built-in validator. So if you see, well, suppose if you want to make it a required field, this is the simple thing. So I'm just copying directly, or you can hard code it. Okay, this should okay. Let me add it clearly. This is just okay. Normally, if it is a string, just add a string like this. And if you want to add a few more things, so like first provide the type. Okay, what is the type of data we are saving? So it's obviously it's a string, and then we are adding the validations, right, for the required field. So there you can add required true, and suppose if you don't provide that information, just add a simple placeholder kind of message. So please enter email ID. Okay, this is a server side validation or client side validation. So please send, or please send email ID. Okay, that is required. So in a similar way, age is there. So if you want to put any restriction on age, you can add it. Okay. So right now, let's go with a. We can test this particular one, how this email ID validation is working. So while you are working, while you are doing practice, just implement another validation for age also, or other things. So now we need to run the application. So yeah, our application is up and running. I've just done npm start already, and let's see where is our route handlers. Okay, where is our routes? Where is our route folder? Yeah, this is there. The user routes is there. We have implemented a controller, so the logic is there inside the controller. Hopefully, you have done all this practice. So now, where is our save data? Lots of okay, create user. Okay, this is what we are using to save the new user details. So here we have implemented, if we got a result, we are saying that it saved successfully. If we got any error, we are sending like a 401 or anything like a fail to save the data. So let's test it first, because with the default express, the handler express error handler. So now I'm using the thunder client. So our application is up and running at the 5000 port number 5000, and the route is like users. And here, okay, of course I have already tested, that's why some data is there. So here just mention username as your name. Like here I'm just adding like okay, yesterday Maxwell played really fantastic innings, I love that, so that's why I'm just adding a Maxi, but please don't play this kind of innings against India. Okay, so we love you. So age, maximum 32, if I'm not wrong. And email ID, okay. Right now we are not sending an email ID. If you send an email ID, it will save the data. So yeah, let's check that one as well. So email ID colon maxi at the rate gmail.com. So, but whenever you are passing the keys, always just cross check whether the spelling is proper or not. The email ID I capital. So this is always we need to check before using those keys. So email ID. So Maxi. So right now we don't have. Okay, how many records are there? 7 documents are there. Let me send a post request. Yeah, saved successfully. Let's take the confirmation from the backend. We should have 8 documents, right? Why it is not it's showing only 7 documents? Yeah, but anyway, the data is saved. I'm not sure why it is still showing the 7 documents. Maybe we need to refresh. So we got the data like maxi and 32 and maxi at the rate at gmail.com. So this is a positive case, but we have implemented validation, right? The user schema. If you don't provide email ID, we should that server should throw an error. Okay, that's what we need to implement. So now I'm going to add another the user. Suppose Virat like 49 centuries. Oh my God. And definitely in this World Cup he's going to finish 50th of like a century. So I'm just adding Virat. Okay, Virat age hopefully 32 or 33 if I'm not wrong. But if Virat is busy with practicing the match, that's why he forgot to add an email ID. Okay, he forgot. Add an email ID. Let's send an email. Oh, failed to save the data. Yes, it is throwing an error because this is we have implemented, right? Failed to save the data. From where it is coming? I just go to user controllers. So we have implemented. Suppose if something went wrong here, if you got any error, we are simply saying that hey, mm, send this response like response dot status 401 and send a fail to save the data. This is fine, but we have a error handler, right? We have an error handler, so it's better to handle all kinds of error at one place so that it's going to be very useful in the coming days in the long run. So but what is the error code? Okay, because surprisingly here it is giving 200. Actually it is giving a 200 error code, but I have given a 401. But in this error in the response we are getting 200. Let's see that surprise. Okay, so here what I'm putting, I'm just removing this for now. Let me add a console.log. So let's log that error. Okay, let's log that error. So later we can pass it to error handler. So next. So if you want to pass the to error handler, so simple. So the error and this route handler should have a next, right, as an argument. Hmm, where are you? The next. Okay. Fine. So here now we are once if something went wrong at anything, whether it is a validation or the promise is not resolved or something something broken, network issue, whatever it is, we'll get an error and we are bypassing that error to our custom error handler middleware. But here, so we have implemented for only a few error codes, that is the 401, 402, 403, 404, like that, right? Suppose if you got any different error, error status code, so it will show like all is well. Okay, let's see that, and then we can fix that issue. Okay, so right now again, because the data is not saved, right? So we can try one more time. So connection was forcibly closed by a appeal. Yes, yes, absolutely, because we didn't send any response properly. But just observe carefully at a console.log what kind of error we are getting. So if you see, yes, user validation failed, email ID, please send an email. Okay, this is fantastic. But what will be the error code? Error code also very, very important. Right now here it is not showing error code. Okay, let's do one thing here in user controllers. So here I'm just adding again console.log. Error code always will come from response. It will be there in a response. Response dot status code. Okay, C should be a capital. Status code. Oh, let's try one more time. Already up. Application is up and running. So surprisingly, it will give you some different number. So if you see, we are getting 200 because actually the request, whatever the request we have given to the MongoDB, that was successful. Okay, but we got some validation. Okay, that's why surprisingly we are getting 200. Don't get confused with that. But yeah, we will I will explain in detail, okay, how to handle these things properly, because sometimes we will get confused, right? 200 means success, right? Yeah, obviously we will get confusion, but I will clarify those things in coming session, don't worry. So right now, whatever it is, if you got any error, so we should pass it to our custom error handler, right? Custom error handler. So here, and if nothing is there, we are putting like a all is well. So normally, hopefully we got the console.log like a all is well somewhere, or it has broken, or is saying like next is not defined. Okay, where I didn't define user controllers. The user controllers have defined, right? Okay, okay, sorry, maybe I've just added into another route. So this is the next. Save it. So just try one more time with sending a request to server. So hopefully you are able to understand what I'm doing. Okay. So maybe it is not sending a response because we did just a console.log. If you see 200 error and all is well. So, but it is not all is well, right? We have a problem. We have a problem. That's why. So, and it is why it is hanging means we didn't finish that request response cycle. Okay, that's why it is hanging. Still loading. So what we need to do? So right now just cancel the request, and the simple thing, always we should remember that if something went wrong, uh, there's a successful or the failure doesn't matter. We should take that responsibility to finish that request response cycle. That is very, very important. Okay, here what we need to do? Okay, no problem, we can send a JSON, but the title will be different. Okay, normally we will get the error message from error object, the stack from error object. The only thing is something went wrong simply. Okay. Suppose if you want to make it generic, make it something went wrong. Okay, something went wrong, and message, definitely we can track it from error message and error stack. So then client will take care of what's went wrong. So now we are going to get an error by the custom error handler because it is 200. Okay, suppose if it is not matching with already defined error codes, so it is falling to the default case in that error handler middleware, so it is going to display this message. Well, let's try. So right, so far we didn't get a proper response. Send. Yeah, if you see, yes, even it is a 200, okay, okay, but this is 200, okay. But something went wrong and the message user validation failed. Email ID, please send email ID. And the stack trace validation error, user validation failed. Okay, email ID, please send it. Because like he's just providing all the stack trace. So here in this session, we understand how to implement a simple validation with the help of mongoose. Okay, this is, I'm saying this is just a fundamental thing. I think maybe it's like ABCD, but lots of things are there. So as I said, the reading the documentation and doing a practice is our responsibility. If you want to learn more, yes, we should read the documentation and do practice. So for fine, and whatever we have implemented in the last session, that is custom error handler, and if something went wrong, obviously we are passing that error information to our custom error handler. Okay, this is what, how we can implement validations, and with the help of custom error handler we can manage them in a proper way. So hope you understood. Though assignment for you is, so this is age is there, right? Age is there. So just put some restriction. Suppose this is our farmers application, okay? E-commerce application for farmers. So normally users, what we can give the validation. So user age should be a minimum 12. Okay, like that. Just implement for fun. Okay, the restriction minimum age should be 12 and the maximum age should be 80. Okay, after that, okay, we should give respect to older persons and we need to take care of them, right? 60, maybe right now, maybe 60, after 60 years we will become old. Okay, so just put the restriction for a like a namesake. The minimum age should be 12 and maximum age should be 60. So just implement that validation, and once you understand, once you have done a practice, just in the comment section just tell me um, you have done practice or not, whether you understood or not. So for now, just give a simple like for this video so that at least it will reach one more student. Okay, thank you. And okay, after, okay, tomorrow also I will try to provide another important session. Okay, because if you see, for every time implementing this try catch is not a good thing. Okay, because if you see, suppose right now we have implemented user controllers, and in future we are going to implement route handlers for orders details and lots of things, right? The product details, order details, many things. So for each and everything, it's not an easy thing to implement try catch. It's a repetitive coding, right? So we have another technique to avoid to write try catch for each and every route. So that we are going to learn in the next session. After completing that next session, we are going to focus on the most important topic in web development, that is authentication and authorization. So, but before entering into the topic, you should have complete practice all these things and you should revise and you should learn properly. Okay, thank you and see you tomorrow again. Bye bye.